In the last video, I broke down the difference between a bum and a man who's rough around the edges. And some people heard it, but they didn't really feel it. So let me make it clearer. When I talk about a man who's rough around the edges, I'm not talking about a dude who's reckless, irresponsible, or unstable. I'm talking about a man like me, a man who's lived, learned, and evolved, a man who's been through enough to move different, a man who doesn't need to be loud to be respected, a man who doesn't need to explain himself to be understood, a man who's solid, disciplined, and grounded, even if he's not polished. That's the lane I fall into. Not perfect, not soft, not chaotic, and suck free. I'm rough around the edges because of what I've seen and what I've survived. Not because I'm now reckless, because I'm aware. I've been in environments where being loud got you noticed and being noticed got you hurt. I've been around people who talk tough but fold under pressure. I've watched men perform strength instead of building it. So, yeah, I'm him. I'm blunt. I'm direct. I don't sugarcoat. No, I don't pretend. I don't play roles. I don't chase approval. I don't need validation. My roughness isn't aggression. It's experience. It's the kind of edge you get when life teaches you lessons you didn't ask for but needed. And that's why I don't move like everybody else. I'm not trying to be liked. I'm trying to be real. People think I got quiet because I changed. Nah, I got quiet because I grew. I learned that talking too much is a liability. I learned that explaining yourself drains energy. I learned that reacting to everything makes you predictable. I learned that defending your name keeps you stuck in the past. I learned that silence gives you control. When you've lived, you eventually realize the power in shutting up, not out of fear, out of discipline, out of awareness, out of maturity. I don't need to be the center of attention. I don't need to prove anything. I don't need to correct every misunderstanding. I don't need to convince people I'm solid. I am solid. And solid men don't talk about it. They show it. I'm observant because I've seen what happens when you're not. I watch people's patterns. I watch their tone. I watch their energy. I watch how they treat others. I watch how they move when they think nobody's paying attention. I don't judge people off their words. I judge them off their consistency. That's why I don't rush into friendships. I don't rush into relationships now. I definitely don't rush into trusting people. I sit back. I study. I analyze. I let people reveal themselves, and they always do. Being observant isn't about being paranoid. It's about being prepared. It's about protecting your peace. It's about knowing who deserves access to you and who doesn't. That's why I move slow. That's why I move quiet. That's why I move intentional. One thing about me, I don't chase narratives. I don't correct rumors. I don't defend my past. I don't argue with people who don't matter. If someone wants to misunderstand me, that's on them. If someone wants to lie on me, that's their character. If someone wants to judge me off who I used to be, it is what it is. I'm not wasting breath trying to fix other people's imagination. I know who I am. I know what I stand on. I know how I move. I know what I've built. And I know where I'm going. A man who knows himself doesn't need to explain himself. A man who's grounded doesn't need to be validated. A man who's evolved doesn't need to be defended. My silence is not weakness. It's confidence. Years back, someone called me a crouching tiger, and honestly, it fits. I'm calm, but I'm not soft. I'm quiet, but I'm not timid. I'm still, but I'm not stagnant. I don't move unless I choose to. I don't react unless it's worth it. I don't speak unless it matters. That's the kind of energy you develop when you've been through enough to know your own strength. I don't need to bark now to prove I'm a dog. I don't need to flex to prove I'm capable. I don't need to threaten anymore to prove I'm solid. My presence says enough. My discipline says enough. My awareness says enough. That's crouching tiger energy. Power without performance. Strength without noise. Confidence without chaos. There are benefits to being the way I am. I don't get manipulated easily. I don't get provoked easily anymore. I don't get distracted easily. I don't get played easily. A lot of the time, I see people's intentions before they speak them. I move with purpose, not impulse. I make decisions from clarity, not emotion. I don't need attention to feel valuable. I don't need validation to feel strong. I don't need noise to feel alive. I'm grounded. I'm centered. I'm comfortable within self. And people feel that. They feel my presence before I say a word. They feel my energy before I make a move. They feel my confidence without me having to announce it. How do I know? I just pay attention to what mirrors me. That's the advantage of being a quiet, observant, rough around the edges type of man. My power speaks louder than my voice ever could. But let's be real. This type of man comes with downsides too. Some women get intimidated by me. Not because I'm dangerous, but because I'm mastering discipline. Not because I'm cold, but because I'm controlled. Not because I'm hiding something, but because I don't overshare. Some women don't know how to read a man who doesn't talk too much. They're used to men who perform emotions, not men who manage them. They're used to men who need attention, not men who avoid it. They're used to men who talk about their plans, not men who quietly execute them. So when they meet a man like me, calm, observant, unbothered, they get nervous. They think I'm distant. They think I'm uninterested. They think I'm detached. But the truth is simple. They're not used to men who don't need them to feel like men. If you're a man watching this and you want to move like this, let me tell you how. First, stop reacting to everything. Not every comment deserves a response. Not every insult deserves your energy. Not every misunderstanding deserves a correction. Second, learn to sit with yourself. Learn to be alone. Learn to be quiet. Learn to think before you speak. Third, stop explaining your past. Stop defending your name. Stop trying to convince people you've changed. Fourth, observe more than you talk. Listen to tone. Watch patterns. Study behavior. Fifth, control your emotions. Not suppress, control. Feel them, understand them, then respond with intention. Sixth, move with purpose. Every step should mean something. Every decision should be deliberate. That's how you build stoic strength. So let me close this out the same way I opened it. In the last video, I told y'all the difference between a bum and a man who's rough around the edges. This video, this is what that man looks like. This is how he moves. This is how he thinks. This is how he carries himself. I'm rough around the edges because life shaped me. I'm quiet because I earned my silence. I'm observant because I've seen enough. I'm stoic because I learned the cost of reacting. I don't correct narratives because I don't need to. I don't defend my past because I outgrew it. I don't chase validation because I validate myself. And if that intimidates some people, so be it. I'm here to be the man I needed to be when I was younger. Now, quiet, focused, controlled. A crouching tiger as I was labeled years ago. Calm, but never weak. Silent, but never small. Observant, but never unaware. That's who I am now. And that's who I'm staying. So at the end of the day, you got a glimpse into who is behind this screen. A real man dropping video after video, and there are more videos to come.